I'm a women's teacher counselor at Teen Challenge. It's a Christian discipleship program for people with drug and alcohol addictions. I grew up in a Christian home, wonderful family, grew up going to church and all that, and so I knew who God was from an early age. At a small child, I accepted the Lord as my Savior, grew up in a Christian school, but my world kind of got rocked when I hit high school. And as it was about a sophomore, junior in high school, my mom was diagnosed with a really serious blood disease. She ended up dying when I was a senior in high school. And I remember I spent my second semester of my sophomore year in college abroad, and I was in Spain, southern Spain, and one weekend I went to the beach with some friends. And we were at the beach at night and just standing on the shore, and I just started to cry because it was, once again, it was like all that emotion came up again, and about losing my mom and her not being there, and I just went off by myself, and I was just yelling at God into the waves and just saying, God, I'm tired of being strong. I am so tired of walking through every day having to deal with this and having to carry this, because people would say, Jessie, you are the strongest person I know, or you are so strong. And I was like, I'm sick of being strong, God. I don't want to be strong anymore. Why do these other people have these lives that seem so easy, or my friends don't seem to have to go through this kind of stuff? Why is it that I have to do this? And I just didn't hear anything. I'm standing there, and the icy water's hitting my feet, and I remember writing in the sand, I love you, Mommy. And then a second later, or a minute later, the waves came along and washed half of it away, and it was like this visual depiction of what death does. That just, boom, all of a sudden it's gone. Done. That person's erased from this earth, at least. And I pulled out my book. I was reading Streams in the Desert at the time. And the verse for that day was in 2 Corinthians, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. I heard the Lord's voice, and he said so clearly, I never asked you to be strong. I never asked you to carry that burden every day of your life. That's not what I want for you, and that's not what I have for you. And it took a process longer than that, but that was the beginning of the process of realizing that I had taken on this burden of this identity of being a victim. And it was like I'd grabbed onto this title that I'm this motherless daughter, and that's going to define the rest of my life, because I am a motherless daughter. And from that point on, God started to show me and to bring different people into my life to realize that I'm not a motherless daughter, that I'm a daughter of the King. The Lord showed me that I was not abandoned, that my mom didn't leave me, that I wasn't left, by her, but that she went on ahead, because she was an amazing believer and she loved the Lord with all her heart. And she ran her race, she fought the good fight, and she kept the faith. And so after doing that, she went on and she passed on the baton to my sister and I. People might say, if you've never gone through drug abuse and all that, how can you counsel and help somebody else come out of it? The prevalent issues of women and men at Teen Challenge, it's not the drug abuse. That's the symptom of the deeper problem. And a lot of them, the problem is that their parents weren't there, or the problem is that they had deep hurts and rejections as a kid, or things like that. And people don't realize that. We don't realize how similar we are in our hurts and our pain, and that's what oftentimes defines us for a long period of time until there's something new. If I were teaching somebody how to abuse drugs better, then absolutely you would want me to have a history of abusing drugs. But if I'm here to disciple somebody and teach them how to follow the Lord, then does it really matter if I've got a history in the history that they have, because I've walked with the Lord and I know what it is to walk with Him. So if we're just pointing forward and we're going forward, then I've got what I need.